Good morning, HBCU Legends fans. It's Coyote Mosley. It's a great morning. It's going to be a great weekend. But before we get into some heart of HBCU football, we're going to talk about some golf over at the Ryder Cup. They were hanging out in New York City area. Is it Long Island? No, yeah.
Long Island, yeah.
And they were hanging out there to be able to help the USA be able to defeat the world. But to talk about it today, we have golf commentator Mr. Will Lowery with us today, man. How you doing, Will?
Man, no complaints, man. Wild at the Ryder Cup. Right now, we're not doing our best against Europe right now, but we still got 2 more days to play, so we got to see how it works out.
Oh, look, I saw it was already a star-studded affair because Michael Jordan was hanging out
Yep.
there, a couple other major guys, especially with it being in the U.S. this year. What's happening with the golf team, man? What's going on?
Man, I don't know. Just we got out to a slow start. That's typically in recent history, anytime you get out to a slow start, you're a 13% chance that you will lose the whole entire competition. So hopefully we can break that trend. But today is a very important day as we get into our single matches.
All right, fans, you heard that. Will talked about some data analytics there in golf. So hey, I got to get deeper in that. So one question, Will, if you don't know the answer, that's cool. If you're on a par 5 and you're able to hit over, let's say, 300 feet, you're off the tee. What's the analytics on that?
Probably 300 yards off the tee. So if you able to hit 300 yards off the tee, you're probably in the top probably 5% of all the golf population. It's kind of tough to hit it that far these days.
Okay, especially where they have tiger proof some of the golf courses over the years and everything to that nature, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good. Well, look, man, we're here for a special reason because you participated in a panel to talk about some of the initiatives, especially with City Group, and those guys have been able to help out with some initiatives in the city. Talk about what's happening over there and why this panel was so special.
Yeah, so we were blessed enough to partner with City and for this particular event with PGA Works, which is a division under PGA of America. PGA Works, just give you a little bit of background, is that PGA Works is basically a strategic initiative that is committed to making golf look more like America through on and off the course, and also providing various opportunities. And when we found out that City and PGA Works were teaming up for the Ryder Cup to bring kids who from various clubhouses, various communities in the local area to provide opportunity from career fair, networking, maybe just experiential aspect, just from the aspect of being on the golf course in general for the very first time. And when you think about PGA Works, aka PGA Reach, even PGA of America, their goal is to make sure that they not only grow golf, but they want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to grow through golf.
Okay. Well, some of those career fairs and some of those, I guess, seminars are very instrumental in helping young people, especially inner city people, to understand that there's careers in golf and not just being golfer, but surrounding golf. How important was that to be able to have that?
Yeah, I mean, it was good because, again, I heard so many quotes from, the counselor that brought the kids out there, and as well as some of the kids, they realized, like, this is my first time ever being on a golf course. This is my first time, I didn't know all this was opportunity that golf has. And that's what PGA Works is all about. They're really committed to helping equip the next generation of leaders to help them guys, understand how you can use golf to navigate the business world, navigate just all the opportunities that obviously that life throws at you. And it's their why behind, being intentional. We fully understand here at PJ of America, as well as PJ Reach and PJ Works, all the foundations, is that you know uh, really want to be intentional. We understand that there's additive change and there's systemic change. Additive change is just temporary, but partnering with City, we realize that this is true systemic change. This is something that can last beyond you and I.
Yeah, yeah. I know I've been covering the golf scene as with HBCUs for the
Mhm.
past 5 seasons, right? And there have been a quite a bit of initiatives across the country to be able to help introduce young people to the world of golf. Talk about your experiences. How did you get involved with golf?
My dad, my dad, my parents actually, my mom and dad, they had a wherewithal to take me across the train tracks. I'm a full believer. You don't know anything no more than you're exposed to. Um, and when I realized I was, go across the train tracks, I realized me playing golf and me, um, competing against, people who come from a different clubhouse that I come from. That's when I realized early that golf was culture capital. That's when I
Yeah.
realized it was connected capital. That's when I realized it was means to upward social mobility. And I can't say I quantified it in that particular stance at a young age, but I knew something was different. I knew the rooms that I was in at an early age that my peers, my neighborhood didn't have the opportunity to be in. So because of my parents introduced me to the game, played junior golf, played competitive golf professionally for 10 years. And then because of golf, I have, created a golf agency to help brands and
Oh, what's
help
the agency? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
agency called Crosshair Productions. Um, and we pretty much help brands and audiences grow through the game. We
Okay.
work with some of the governing bodies in golf, and more importantly, we want to make sure that again everybody grows through the game of golf. So we provide maybe a bit of culture education, culture relevancy to the brands and also to the audience. And because of golf, it has definitely taught uh, me how to. It's spiritual. It's a way to navigate through life.
Well, that's great, man. It's great to know. There are two guys that are part of my alma mater, Morehouse College, East
Hmm.
Side Golf guys.
Hmm.
Talk about how just having them in the space and being able to promote the game of golf with their paraphernalia and what they have been able to accomplish over this, I think it's been around 4 or 5 years
Hmm.
that they've really come to the forefront. And stores love them as well as some of the PGA
Yeah,
guys have gravitated to their wear as well. Talk
yeah,
about those guys.
yeah. You're speaking to Olajuwon Ajaniku and Earl Cooper.
Yeah.
And when you think about those what those guys are, they had the vision, they had the foresight, and enter into a space that is untapped, and they can represent us from a standpoint of bringing cultural relevancy to the game of golf. And what they've done in the game is I mean, it's monumental because it falls in the category of you can't be what you don't see.
That's right.
And when you see these young men and women who come from the same neighborhood, same community as the kids that we're trying to increase that participation level in that demographic, it's crazy. And what makes it, and that's what makes with City and what they did with PGA of America this year at the Ryder Cup. They went into communities and were able to help us bring those young men and women in and provide them opportunities, avenues, and information in order to navigate throughout the golf space and also navigate throughout career opportunities as well.
Yeah, that's so crucial, so vital. I think sometimes, especially in the African American community, if we don't see it, we got to create it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's very
yeah.
important. Um, so basically, right now, when it comes to city and the collaboration with PGA, how do you see it going forward, and how it's going to impact these young people?
I mean, I think we have opportunity to increase the participation levels in golf. I think what City is doing is they see it. You know, you always want to partner with corporations, companies that can have a shared vision and shared goal, commonality, which therefore would increase morale. And I think they understand the importance. Um, of what golf and how powerful golf is, and especially it can also be a form of raising awareness for some of the services that city provide, and not only to the public, but again, it provides they have avenues of how they can provide opportunities probably within the workforce, and they can uh, have the opportunity to tap into a different talent pool,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's why I think the partnership with PGA of America and City is so important.
Okay, great. So after this step, Will, what's going to happen? Do you think we got a chance these next couple of days in the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I think we do, man. Just we gotta get we gotta get Russell Henley going. We gotta get Scotty Scheffler going. I know, I mean, name dropping. Everybody has to get going, but you know, I think some of the lower tier of the roster, and I say that respectfully, because you are at a Ryder Cup, but just have to, step up and come up with some big wins today. But I expect something's gonna be different the second day of the competition.
Good, good. And what's your next step with the city group, what the city and PGA collaboration? Are you doing anything more with these guys this coming season?
Yeah, man. I hope Mikael Jones, man. Who is who is head of content with City, that he likes what we're doing. Maybe we can strike some more opportunities and create some more partnership, create a longer commitment when it comes to the partnership, and I can see us just making again intentional impact in the game of golf, and as well as hopefully kind of help them with their brand outcome as well.
Yeah, yeah. Mikhail's doing great, man. He got big promotion. Didn't give me any money, but he did do well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a great young man. And lastly, man, talking about the rest of the season, uh, are we finished with golf, or is there a big finish to the year that's ahead that people need to know about?
No, I think this is pretty much caps off the golf season. The Ryder Cup is pretty much the conclusion of the golf season
Okay.
as we start to head into the 26th season. I think this is where everybody go to hibernation, get their game ready, and January 1 is pretty much we start the season all over again.
Okay. And just before we get off, for our listeners, when it comes to the black golfers right now, who do you see are some of the up and coming and the rising stars that have some potentials to be able to make their names?
Yeah, man. When you think about it, Troy Taylor, who played at Michigan, who currently plays on the APGA golf tour. You think of Willie Mack, who actually just won on the APGA golf tour a couple days ago. Aaron Beverly, Aaron Grimes, all these young men and women who are, you know, understands that what they're doing and putting the culture on their back is so important. And then you think about, the talent that's coming out of these HBCUs. Currently, Howard has a great team led by Sam Purrier. Thinking about Florida A&M, who has a strong team who played in the NCAA's last year, so or this past season rather. So I mean, I'm excited to see what's happening, but one thing I really care about mostly is hopefully we can get some of our influential and affluent uh, blacks to kind of replicate what Steph Curry did for Howard University.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
so huge.
yeah. So I think once we kind of get the word out and understand the benefits of just being associated with the HBCU and helping the golf team, how that can help not only on the golf course but also just in business as well.
All right, excellent. And we'll tell everybody how they can find you out there on the World Wide Web.
My name is again Will Lowery. My Instagram is Will Lowery Golf at I say my email address, but Will Lowery Golf on Instagram and as well as TikTok and various other platforms. I have a podcast with my co-host, who I co-host this event that was sponsored by City, called Beyond the Fairway
Oh,
podcast.
really? Okay,
Yeah,
we got
please,
to check it out, man.
yeah, please look at that. It's basically a cultural. It's where golf and culture meet, and we talk about everything about us and golf. So yeah, I would definitely encourage everybody to look, like, and subscribe.
All right. Look, my son is headed back up to New York in a couple of weeks. He's a student at AMDA. So, man, I heard New York is popping. He can't wait to get back up there.
Yeah, yeah. It's right now the city is definitely not sleeping for sure.
All right. That's Will Lowry, guys. Check out his podcast out there. But also, guys, check out what's happening between City and the PGA. Very important. Some very great initiatives that they have going to be able to support people, not only support people on golf, but also in the city as far as food insecurity is concerned as well. It's very, very important that you guys, if you have an opportunity, go and support in one way, shape, and form. I'm Kyle T. Mosley of HBCU Legends. You could go to hbculegends.net and be able to find us out there on our SI site. And you can also find me at KTMOZE on social media, or go to our social media channels, HBCU Legends, as well on all platforms. Will, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. I wanted to meet you for a long time and finally got that opportunity.
Perfect. Thank you,
All right.
man.
All right. That's Will Lowry. I'm Kyle T. Mosley. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. Go USA in the Ryder Cup. Take care. Hi, I'm Kyle T. Mosley of HBCU Legends, and we have a special installment for you guys today. Did you guys know we're going to have the first HBCU football team to play in Puerto Rico? Well, it's going to happen on October 18th in Puerto Rico. Oh, I wish I could be there. So Kentucky State will be there to represent HBCU football at the HBCU Puerto Rico Bowl. And here to talk about it is Rhonda Russell Henderson, one of the founders of the event. How you doing, Rhonda?
I am fine. Thank you for inviting me to join you tonight.
Oh, it's good to have you guys on. I know your co-founder Wesley can't make it with us to talk about the event right now, but he's in action trying to get things together for you guys.
Yes.
So how did this all come to be to consider an HBCU football team to be in Puerto Rico to represent all HBCU football for the first ever game?
Well, Wes moved to Puerto Rico about a year ago, and when he was here, he realized how with the lack of American football was on the island, especially particularly the West Side. Like they had football teams here a while ago, and they kind of phased out after Maria or before Maria. And so I am a passionate educator, been in education for 27 years. And when we were trying to enroll my daughter in school here, public schools, you only speak in Spanish. And so it became like, okay, what happens to students learning English? Because most young students here, they only speak Spanish. And so I thought that was a wonderful opportunity to be like, hey, let's find a way where we can merge both of our passions of sports and teach not only kids but adults English, to be able to give them some opportunities outside of this island of Puerto Rico. We reached out to several HBCUs. Kentucky State were very thrilled about the idea of this literacy program. And that's how it kind of merged, trying to bring sports back to the island, give students here an opportunity to realize there are other places, other things. There is HBC culture and what that's about, especially since Puerto Ricans have a prideful African heritage.
Yeah. I heard, I had a buddy of mine who was in Puerto Rico for a number of years with the Army, and he just came back. He was just raving about the culture and how it's so similar. I'm from New Orleans, so he was like, it was kind of similar to our culture in New Orleans, Yes. So mixed, diverse culture, a blend of people. It's just, he had a great time.
Yes, that's how I explain it to people. Like, this is New Orleans. Like, they're gonna feed you and consider you family right off. They're gonna tell you their story. They want to know if you are invested here in their island, and try to support you, show you your way, and everything else, which is really has been our path here. Like, I haven't been here a year, but off and on. But my daughter goes to school here at the first charter school on the island. Yes, on the west side of the island. Let me get that correct. On the west side of the island, she goes to the first charter school. So we are definitely vested here on the island and trying to see how we can make this Puerto Rico Bowl something big, and where people can see the island, enjoy the culture, enjoy the food, and spread some of our African history with HBCUs, to the Puerto Ricans here.
That's so important. And what you guys are doing is a trailblazing type of effect that I'm pretty sure other people are going to follow what you guys set in place. For you and Wes to be able to come up with this idea, how difficult was it for you to first find localities, go through the motions, like you said, finding in the HBCU team willing to participate? And guys, their Kentucky State is going to go against Franklin Pierce. So that was also a chore within itself for Kentucky State to find somebody to play, right? So just take us through that.
So Grant Stepp, the AD for Kentucky State, once we kind of pitched him our idea, he was like gung-ho. But unfortunately, most HBCUs have already had bowl games or classics or other games. Franklin Pierce heard about it and reached out to Kentucky State and offered to join and play. So yeah, even though it's not an official HBCU, both teams, but we were willing to like, hey, this is the first ever. Why not see what can happen?
Wow, that's awesome. And are these guys come from Franklin Pierce? That's an East Coast team. Is that correct?
They're located in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, all the way from New Hampshire. They're going to come in and participate with Kentucky State, which had a big win over my alma mater this weekend. I don't like to say that much, Morehouse went down. And I was like, oh my God. But
I heard.
Yeah, look, I remember when we used to beat up on Kentucky State, but anyway.
Okay.
But it's good to have this in action. So let's get the particulars right. It's going to take place on October 18th, and it's going to be in Rincon, Puerto Rico. Is that correct?
Yes, Rincon, Puerto Rico, which is on the west side of the island. They are so excited to have Kentucky State and Franklin Pierce come out. They are their mayor is all about sports, and they are so excited that tourism will be coming to the west side of the island. And so every time we go to the mayor's office to talk about them, they're always like, okay, how many people are coming? How many people are coming?
Well, that's a good question. How many people do you anticipate coming, Rhonda?
We're hopefully anticipating about 5,000 people.
5,000. Wow. That'll be awesome. You can't get 5,000 people in some of our HBCU stadiums, so that'll be
Yes.
great.
Yes, the Puerto Rican people, since the word is getting out, are very excited about American football. The west side of the island doesn't have that much opportunity for tourism, and people don't know about this side and how beautiful it is. And
Yeah,
so being able to showcase what the West does is something that they are, like, how can we help? What can we do? Which is very good to see, because they know little bit of nothing about American football and HBCU. So it
yeah.
is nice to hear the passion coming from them.
Will the band be participating with Kentucky State?
Kentucky State is bringing their drum line. For
Wow.
next year, we said, because we're planning on being bigger and better for next year, because this is a 3-year commitment with Kentucky State. Let me also add, Kentucky State is also trying to bridge education here. So not only are they willing to come and play the game, they are offering in-state tuition for any Puerto Rican students that want to go to Kentucky State and attend college there. And so we
That's
are
awesome.
very fortunate to have that partnership, because it loops right along with what CAEC believes in.
Wow. Look, being able to have, because my true profession is that I'm a recruiter, executive recruiter, and I've had people from Puerto Rico who specialize in the medical field or pharmaceutical field, and they have done excellent and have gone on to have some really outstanding careers. So to be able to have Kentucky State investing in the people and willing to be able to have them to have the in-state tuition, man, that's saving thousands of dollars. Trust me, guys, that is not a small statement by Kentucky State. So congratulations.
Yes. So that's one reason why we are very excited and trying to put it out there about people in Puerto Rico to attend the bowl, so they can learn about Kentucky State. So maybe that is an opportunity for their child or grandkids to be able to, go to college outside of the island.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's see. The game is going to be played in Estadio Municipal Fernando Nando Sanabria Rincon, Puerto Rico.
Correct.
How did I do?
You did it about as good as I would have done. We are converting a baseball field, because there are no football fields here in Puerto Rico,
Okay.
into a football field for the day.
Estadio Municipal Fernando. All right, I'm gonna have to work on that one.
You got to
Rincon
get your
is
Spanish
located.
accent correct.
Look, if I get there and the ladies talk to me, I can be able to get the accent going now, Ron.
Okay.
I gotta have a little motivation there. No,
Oh.
I'm just kidding, guys. Now, like I said, Rincon is on the west side of the island, known for the amazing beaches, the surfs. What is it called? Is it Domes, Marias, Tres Palos, and Sandy Beach are some of the tourist destinations when you go to the west side, right?
Yes, and they also, which I'm going to go to this weekend.
Okay, kind of lost you there. Say that one more time.
On in Rincon that I want to go discover this weekend. But Rincon is known as the surfers town. They have a lot of Americans, so it's one of the most American tourist locations here on the island. So you will see little quaint shops that will remind you of being at home.
Yeah.
They have a variety of different food options besides just Puerto Rican food. And so it is a nice blend for people that are coming over to come and visit to feel like they're at home.
Well, that's awesome. My son would love it because he always wanted to surf. Back in my younger days, I always wanted to surf as well. But I recall the Brady Bunch. Remember when they went to Hawaii?
Oh, yeah. That episode, yes.
Everybody wanted to surf like Greg, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Talk about the impact here. The Caribbean Athletic Education Cooperative, called CAEC, is about sports and education. You guys are going to help with that cooperative as well. Talk about that as well.
So the CAEC, I want to say like this is more than just a game. It is a mission. It is bringing something historic to the island. Like I said, we are very passionate about literacy in sports and how we can merge that together, and giving back to the community, and bringing American football opportunities here for the youth in the west side of the island of Puerto Rico, and then also the importance of teaching English, not only to kids, but also seniors. So they'll have the opportunity to be able to go outside of this island and seek jobs, colleges, or whatever they feel like they're doing, and have that confidence in knowing I know English. Not saying that they don't know English here. Most people that you run into in Puerto Rico will try to speak English with you.
Yeah.
But it's the confidence, building that confidence of and being able to, go out and get jobs or apply for different things outside of this island.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand bridging sports with the educational component is very critical, especially for Islanders in Puerto Rico. We're going to have also an HBCU game in St. Croix later this season as well, with Virginia Lynchburg. So having HBCU flavor going to the islands, the basketball teams have been doing it for years. Now it's time for the football teams to really get into the mix. And I applaud you guys for what you being able to bring to the table here.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it has been a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of getting out there, meeting people. But one thing here in Puerto Rico, they are very personable. They want to see your face. They want to have a conversation with you. And that's how we have learned to get around and do things. It is not sending an email and a phone call. It is being in a municipality, talking to mayors, which I've learned is something new, like on Wednesdays or Thursdays. You can go to municipality and talk to the mayor about anything.
Really?
So definitely, yeah. So that is different. Like people, that's like you wait in line to speak to the mayor. But that is how personal things here are on the island. It is all about building those relationships. And that's why when we sought this out, we had to let Kentucky State know that if you want to be successful here, you have to have that relationship or bring that relationship to the people on the island. That way they can trust you, and see you as something or some place that I can send my kid for college.
Yeah.
That is what they're all about, is that relationship building here on the island.
Wow, that's awesome because, you talked about the New Orleans side of me and how it was growing up. You can make a phone call any other time, but it was about going to someone's house, sitting down, and if you were a part of that family or you knew somebody in that family, you've been lifelong family friends. And I can still, to this day, 40 to 50 years later, some of those family members and extended family members call me family. So, and that's very, very important. And to have the mayor to give access like that, that's very important as well.
Yes, that is something that how they work here. So, you have to learn their system, which I think, shows that we're invested here in Puerto Rico, not only for this game, but we're starting youth football here on the island, and doing these literacy programs.
Wow. So guys, if you can get a ticket, go and get your ticket as soon as possible to Puerto Rico. Is there a major hub? Like, do they have to fly to Miami or do they have to go out to Atlanta or what?
Well, I don't know how they can get here, but they can fly into San Juan. But San Juan is about 2 hours or
Do they have to drive from there?
Yeah, you will have to drive, or they have shuttles. But Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, which is about 30 minutes away, has an airport, and it has one of the largest runways because it used to be a Army Air Force base. And so it has a 2-mile runway, 3-mile runway. So
we're not in any shortage on runways. We'll be
yes. But they can fly into Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, which isn't far, and rent a car or shuttle to Rincon.
Okay, man, that's pretty good. I'm just thinking about how can I get there. You got me geeked there, Rhonda. I really want to know.
And it's nice weather. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot in Houston, but it's not beautiful like in Puerto Rico.
No, you'll be amazed, looking at the water and the sandy beaches and how peaceful and calm it is.
Yeah, right. Look, in Kentucky State, you guys have a good team there. They defeated Central State. They lost a couple of games in the middle, but they, like I said, they defeated my school, my alma mater, Morehouse, this recently, and they are going to be playing Savannah State as well as Miles before they take off to head to Puerto Rico. Uh, Guys, thousands of people will be there visiting and helping to boost the local economy at on Rincon as well. So this is a national showcase that Puerto Rico will take HBCU internationally on that island. So let's make sure we go and do whatever we can to support. Now, will the game be broadcast?
Yes, it will be broadcast. It will be streamed with Urban Edge Network.
Right.
And also, let me add to that. What you were just saying about people coming. It is the slow season in Puerto Rico, and so right now they are waiting for us because of the tourism part. It doesn't pick up down here until it's winter, back
Okay.
in the States. And so right now everybody's like, it's slow season. And one more thing, you have to learn, if you're coming, please learn to be patient. Puerto Rico is not like the States. People are in line for everything. And this one Puerto Rico guy told me, he's like, you're a rookie, because I went to the grocery store and I was impatient. Like, there were 5 people in line. I had 2 things, and at home you can scan and go.
Yeah.
He was like, you're a rookie. How long have you been here? He was like, you got to learn patience. And so that's what I want to tell people: learn patience, because it is not like, like everything is quick and go. No, they want to talk and they want to, sit down. This place still has their hour lunch where things shut down.
Oh, really? Is it like what do you call it? The siesta, right?
I guess so, yes.
Yeah.
But they enjoy their lunch time. So, there are definitely things on the island that are different than coming to visit.
Well, that's awesome. That's good to know, because us Americans, we like to get things immediate right now.
Yes.
Hey, why do I have to wait? So
you're gonna wait in Puerto Rico.
All right. So Coach Huggins and those guys are taking the team to Puerto Rico. Did you have a chance to speak with him, and how does he feel about the team getting a chance to be on the international stage?
I think they're all excited. I haven't personally spoken to him. I don't do the sports side, but I know my partner probably has. But I have heard from him that they are definitely excited about this opportunity to come to the island, so their students can learn about the Puerto Rican culture and try to embrace the schools here by doing some school visits, reading some books, going to visit some municipalities and the nursing homes. So they are all in for everything that we have planned, and the municipality of Rincon are excited. They're having an art night on Thursday where they have invited all visitors and our teams to be there to support the local vendors in the town. And it's a wonderful little quaint evening that they have in their square.
That's awesome, Rhonda. I mean, think about that. They get a chance to interact with the people. The kids get to kind of see what's out there, and can probably spark some dreams and hopes for some young man who wants to be a American football star. You never know.
You never know.
You never know. Let's see. Tell everybody how they could be able to get involved, because there's still some sponsorship packages that are out there for people who would like to support the event, correct?
So the best way to get involved is to check out our website. It is caecpr.org. And it has all of our information on there: who we are, what we, how we're planning on giving back to Puerto Rico and the community. and our telephone numbers and email addresses. So if somebody wants to reach out, that is probably the best way. I want them to learn about us. But we definitely have some opportunities for anybody that would like to sponsor, donate, advertise, however they want to see fit to help make this dream a reality for Kentucky State, Franklin Pierce, and the Puerto Rican students that are here.
Let's see if we can put that in the queue for you guys. No, that's not it. I'll try to find it for you, Rhonda. So say that website one more time.
CAECPR.org.
Okay. And are there certain levels to the sponsorship packages that they could be able to participate in?
Yes, we definitely have certain, from being a prime time sponsor to just being a community level sponsor, we have different packages, or we can custom a package depending on, what somebody's needs or monetary donation that they would like to be able to give. So it's all about, if they reach out, we will definitely work with them.
Okay, guys, we got it scrolling down there. They also have a Twitter address. You can be able to find these guys, TikTok as well. That's Rhonda Russell Henderson, and there's her email address. There's the website right there, as well as the phone number that you guys can be able to reach them. So if you want to participate in one way, shape, or form, if you can't be able to make the game, let's try to help donate and sponsor the game to be able to help them out. Because look, putting on an event of this magnitude is huge.
Yes, and we're a homegrown company, so it's two of us. So we're not some big organization. We don't have a bunch of, support and whatever. It's just the two of us that have been working on this dream now for about 8 or 9 months. And we are definitely trying to give back to the community. We're also having a field day on that Friday, the 17th, where we're inviting the schools to come out, local community vendors. So then the community can be able to interact with the schools also.
Okay.
We're gonna have a bonfire and tailgating on that night also. So we're trying to make it where it's more than just the game. So and then the day of the game, we're gonna have a parade where the University of Puerto Rico Maya West campus is going to perform so we have some local bands that will be participating in the parade along with Kentucky State's drum line.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're, like I said, we're definitely trying to make it a community or event, and so they can understand what HBC culture is, but also we can also blend Puerto Rican culture and flavor into it also.
Man, that's beautiful. Let's see here. Here's the website, guys. Y'all can take a look at that. That's your website, right, Rhonda?
Yes.
Okay. The Caribbean Athletic and Education Cooperative, and you see you have Kentucky State, Franklin Pierce. Let's see. This is a little bit about their mission, what they've been able to do as far as literacy and college access, youth sports development, community engagement, as well as economic impact. That's going to be very huge, especially in that area. The different events, of course, the Hbcu Puerto Rico Bowl is going to be on the 18th. It's going to be on a Sunday, and it starts at.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday. It has Sunday here. I apologize.
No, it might be a typo.
Okay, so it's a Saturday. All festivities start at 1 p.m. Man, it's in Puerto Rico. Like Rhonda said, it doesn't get through. You see that 8:30? No, it's going to probably go a little bit longer than that, right, Rhonda?
Probably.
All right, and let's see. Talks about, there's Rhonda, and also Wes Wesley. He's a part of this. Rhonda is an accomplished educator over 27 years. What's your specialty, Rhonda?
Reading.
Yes. What grade level?
I have taught every grade level. So
really,
yes. So
And where at in the States?
in Chicago mainly. And then
Really?
I started teaching in early college in Salem, Massachusetts last year. So I taught sophomores and juniors their first ever education course for college, which was
Wow.
interesting. Trying to get juniors and seniors and sophomores to commit to being teachers was a feat in itself.
Really? Well,
Yes,
is it because they just didn't understand what it took to be a teacher, or they're looking for the glamour?
they're looking for the money.
See, I was trying to
Teachers
put it
don't
a different way around it, you know.
teachers don't make no money, and they're like, no, we don't want to be a teacher. No, I want to be a teacher if I have to deal with people, like me, like how I act in
Yeah, and
school.
like how they behave, right?
So it was fun
Uh-huh.
to talk to students about, especially because in Massachusetts you have a lot of immigrants, so a lot of students of color. It was
Really?
interesting to
Okay.
talk to them about education and the history of education. So, especially now with all these DEI policy changes and how things are going, it was nice to be able to give them the history of education. So, hey, when you hear things aren't right, you know why you need to speak up and that value of speaking up. So I felt, very proud of planting the seed to get them to learn how to advocate.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Look, my mom was an educator for 40 years.
My mom was too.
Yeah, 40 years. And you do have a HBCU background, right?
Yes, I attended Dillard University. I'm not a grad, but I did attend Dillard University. I got homesick. My mother just sent me to New Orleans from Chicago, and I couldn't come home until Christmas. And so, but I love the opportunity. My mom's family all are Alcornites. Everybody went to Alcorn, so my mother kept me engaged all growing up in HBCU culture. So I understand how important that is. My mom was an alum that gave back. My aunts are alums that still give back. And so, I know how important it is to have that HBCU, legacy and keep it alive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I needed to come home. So I'm a graduate of DePaul University
DePaul. All right.
because I needed to be home. Like, hey, I got, I'm my only child. And
Rhonda, you don't have to explain to us. I understand.
I'm saying, yeah, your parents drop you off in New Orleans after a while. Like, okay, it's only so much I can do in the quarters. I went to Mardi Gras. Okay, after that, I'm ready to come home. Like,
Come home. Wow. Wow. All
yeah.
right. So
But I
Rhonda,
definitely love the experience.
okay. New Orleans loved you to be there just for a season. How about
Yes.
that? All right. Dillard, my mother, as well as my grandmother, and 1, 2, 3, 4 aunts finished from Dillard University.
Okay. All right.
So Dillard is special to me because it was less than a couple of miles from my home on St. Anthony Avenue. So,
Oh yeah, you were close.
yeah, very, very, very close. Walk to Dillard. We did a lot at Dillard when we were young. Things we shouldn't have been doing, but we had fun. It was a great place. Okay, Rhonda, thank you so much. And one last time, tell everybody how they can be able to find you on the World Wide Web.
The website is caecpr.org. Like I said, if there's something that you want to reach out and let us know how you would love to support, or you can give us a phone call or email us. That would be wonderful. All of that information is on the website. And so, like I said, it is just a two-person organization. So we would appreciate any support, help as possible to make this a wonderful experience, not only for the supporters of Kentucky State or Franklin Pierce, but also for the students here on the island of Puerto Rico.
All right, excellent. And it will be broadcast and streaming partner is Urban Edge Network. If you guys don't know, of course, we are a part of Urban Edge Network as well. We're partners with those guys. And they also have a great mobile app, one of the best technologies out there that give you good, smooth streaming throughout all of the productions, the football games, and what they've been able to do with the NIA games is just tremendous. I think they have over almost 300 games they're going to produce this season. So Urban Edge Network is doing a great job there. Rhonda, it's been a pleasure meeting you and talking with you. I know we've been trying to get together for a while, but anything else we could do to try to help promote the game, we will do that for you. Okay.
Appreciate it. It has been a pleasure.
All right. And tell Wes I said hello as well.
I will.
I'm Kyle T. Mosley of HBCU Legends. Go to HBCU Legends on all social media platforms, and you can go and follow me at KTMOZE on all social media platforms. And if you want to read our articles each day, you can go to hbculegends.net. So if you're in Puerto Rico, please follow us, and we can be able to follow you guys back as well. Rhonda, have a great one. Thank you so much, guys. Go and support the HBCU Puerto Rico Bowl. Welcome to another special installment of the HBCU Legends podcast. I'm Kyle T. Mosley, and I'm here with a former NFL star who's turned into former Brown. No, I wouldn't say that, but we would call him Mr. Jason Brown. How you doing, Jason? How you feeling, man?
Doing well, Cal. Thank you for having me on your show.
Look, we were talking before about my grandfather and my great grandfather, my uncles farming, and you had me humbled today getting an early start farming out there where you are. But look, man, you have had an interesting career, an interesting background coming from the National Football League to where you are currently. But we're here for a special reason, right?
Yes.
And it's a reason that a lot of people take for granted these days, and it's food insecurity. And it is happening on college campuses across the nation, especially HBCU campuses. And I know that personally. I've talked to some kids as well as some coaches who have had their own players affected by food insecurity. So on behalf of Oikos and Jason Brown, we are here to talk about it. So, Jason, how you feeling, man? Let's take it away. Let's talk about it.
I'm feeling good. It's a great day, and being a farmer now, being in the fall season, this is my football season. Okay, we've already done the prep work, the seeds in the ground. Now it's harvest time for us, and it's a time to be excited because we're able to take a lot of that good food and help to distribute it to the communities that are in need.
Well, where are you right now primarily? Are you in Texas? Where are you located?
Yeah, I'm in Lewisburg, North Carolina, and
North Carolina.
this is my home state. Yes, where I was born and raised. Several HBCUs right here in North Carolina, Central, the Eagles, as well as the A&T State, the Aggies.
Yeah.
That's right here in North Carolina. Yes,
Winston-Salem.
Yep.
State as well. Yeah.
Fayetteville State. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Fayetteville, right. I mean, North Carolina has an abundance of great HBCUs, legendary HBCUs as well. I know the Aggies as well as the Eagles are about to have that big Aggies-Eagles throwdown each year. That's taking place this coming weekend. But North Carolina is a great place to settle. I know farming is good in that area. Talk about how you are supporting the surrounding communities.
Yes, so our farming mission is mostly philanthropic. It's a food ministry surrounded around giving back. And so to date, over the past 10 years, since I've finished playing football, we have grown, harvested, and donated more than 2 million pounds of food. And I wish that I could say that a lot of that food reaches further distances. We have a lot of folks that say, hey, can we get some of that food in Virginia or Tennessee or South Carolina, some of our surrounding states? But unfortunately, there's such a demand and a need because of the food insecurity and hunger that all of that food is absorbed locally.
Wow.
And, hunger, it affects everybody, but disproportionately minorities. Black and brown families, the statistics go up much higher. And so, of course, yes, when it comes to our college students and the HBCUs, yeah, on average, about 25% all around the country, students are given reports of they're facing hunger, all right, while they're trying to focus on studying, while they're trying to focus on being student athletes. But when it comes to our HBCUs, those statistics rise up to almost 50%. And that's a
Ooh,
big deal.
yeah, that's a huge and staggering number to think about it, right? Thank you to Okos as well as their nutrition sponsorship program to be able to get this reported and being able to tackle this situation because students, like you said, are reporting limited access to food, not knowing how they could be able to make it to the next day as well as throughout the weekend sometimes. So how how do you think or what was the main reasons why we are having this issue other than just we're talking about kids in college, but I recall the days where when I was in Atlanta, still you had a lot of people can go to the cafeterias and people can get some food around the area. But my mom and dad and those guys grew up in Louisiana where still farming was still abundant and necessary. So, what are some of the issues that you see, Jason, especially being in the farming industry?
So one of the biggest issues is, first of all, awareness. All right. And a lot of these communities that are facing some of these hardships, not having access, to good quality food. Guess what? You got to speak up. All right. You got to go talk to some of your local politicians and say, hey, we need help. We need funding and sources for a grocery store in this location so we can have access to good quality, healthy food. But it's not just some of the local government officials. Thankfully, yes, you also have organizations, you have corporations that see that need and they're stepping up. And so me, I'm one man, all right, but of course you know that you need a team in order to make the biggest difference and also to be able to compete and to overcome some of these challenges. And so what I've had to do is I've had to partner with larger corporations, with organizations. Thankfully, guess what? Oikos, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, Jason, we're putting together a winning game plan for our local colleges to really, win this battle and supply some of these students with what they need." And not only that, Oikos, they partnered with Swipe Out to End Hunger, which is a national nonprofit that focuses on HBCU campuses to make sure that our college students will get those nutrients that they need. Now, of course, you know that for a lot of these students that are food insecure, a lot of times you have products that, dude, like, is basically eating garbage. So, okay.
Right.
And,
Are you
and,
talking
and you're
about like
talking
fast food or some of the
and
snack
struggle
candies
meals.
and things?
Okay, you're talking about something cheap, ramen noodles. Okay, making a struggle meal, which is right there in your dorm room, and dude, it's filled with processed carbs, high sugar, all of these preservatives. Something that, yeah, I mean, it will it help to get you through the day, but is it going to help you to perform at your best level? No, it's not. And so our students, they deserve better. They need better, especially student athletes that are trying to get out there and perform. They definitely need better because, they've got to compete. And so I had the awesome opportunity, okay, to be able to taste some of Okio's, some of their latest products, because for years my wife and I, we love yogurt, okay, but most of the yogurt brands out there, dude, they have all of these added sugars, like
Yeah.
high in sugar. And guess what? Hey, I just need the healthy protein. But
Right.
one thing that they came out with is a high protein yogurt with zero added sugar.
Yeah.
And also, the added fruit that they have to it is no added sugar along with that fruit, and it actually tastes pretty good. And so I had some just earlier today. Usually I have to add honey or some maple syrup, something healthy, to sweeten it. I didn't have to do any of that. And so the
Yeah.
natural fruit that was in there, it was sweet enough. I was able to get 15 grams of protein and keep on moving. Yes, sir.
Wow. Wow. Well, us sizey men, I don't want to say big men, Jason, us sizey men, we have to have our protein every day,
Oh, yeah.
right? But also, I love the fact because Oikos, I'm familiar with the dry yogurts, right? The Greek yogurts, right?
Mhm.
That's what my significant other, she had me. Oh, you need to eat this. You need to
Yeah.
be more healthy,
Ugh.
right?
And it's no taste. All right. Like it's
Yeah, the taste was
it's
none.
it's like you're choking down some medicine. You know it's good for you, but you don't look forward to eating it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and I'm glad that you told me they're tackling it from the other side, making it more tasteful, and that's going to help those kids want to be able to use it and be able to say, hey, if I'm going to get some yogurt, I'm going to get Orcos, right? So
That's right.
that's going to be very, very important. I love the fact that the nutrition sponsorship program that they have, they did the partnership, like you said, with those guys that swipe out hunger, but uh,
Yeah.
it swipe the swipe out, right? And it's very necessary. Now, these guys are also helping to expand into these athletic departments to kind of bridge the gap with some of the student body as well as the student athletes to give them nutrition access and education, right there on the campus. So we talk about campuses like Grambling State University as well as Prairie View University. Talk about that as well, how important it is, especially those two universities that also, if I'm not mistaken, have farming programs.
Yes, and so those are the two, pilot schools that they're rolling out into right now, and it's kind of like a proving ground. So, okay, where they're going to be able to get Oikos, so they're going to be able to get a lot of their product out there, swipe out. They're going to be able to help to distribute that product all around campuses, so that hey, the protein shakes, guess what? Is grab and go. All right, the yogurt, it's grab and go,
Yeah.
and the students it's a fast-paced lifestyle. The same thing with the athletes. And but the thing is that hopefully with the statistics, they're going to be able to chart those students. They're going to be able to see yes that their overall success now that they have access, to better protein options, better snack options, right there on campus. And then after we're able to chart that, hopefully we can roll this out next year to all of the HBCUs.
Yeah, I understand that Savannah State University as well as Jackson State University could be a part of the official nutrition sponsorship, where they are going into those athletic departments and also providing seminars on nutrition and putting fueling stations and snack stations there to be able to help out.
Yes. And so, you know, thinking back at my career at Carolina, UNC Chapel Hill, yes, I'll admit I was privileged. Okay. We had our own cafeteria, we had our own, snack bar area where you could make all of those different things that you needed or that you could grab and go. And unfortunately, that's not the truth, the same truth for all of our different programs out there. And
Right.
everyone saw, yes, unfortunately, my brother, Deion Sanders, because little known fact, all right, his last year in the NFL, he finished up as a Raven, all right, with the Baltimore Ravens.
That
That
is
was
true.
my rookie year, okay, and so
Okay.
Deion, I can call him my big brother, okay, but as much as we love him, we all saw his struggles at Jackson State and the funding issues. Guess what? He wanted to be able to provide his athletes with the best. All right, the best clothing and uniforms. The best housing. Guess what? The best nutrition as well. And so yeah, so actually Dion was able to bring a lot of awareness and shed a lot of light on, yes, the inequalities that so many other, I know, privileged programs have around the country versus a lot of our HBCUs. And so, as I said before, awareness is a big issue. But thankfully, yes, there's awesome companies, awesome organizations, Oikos, partnership with Swipe Out to End Hunger, partnership with other awesome athletes like myself, okay, to help not just bring awareness, but to bring resources as well.
Definitely. If I remember correctly, Dion came out of his pocket to be able to pay for the nutrition
Yeah,
delivery just going to Jackson State for his football team.
yes,
And that was highly important. And think about those young men, they were successful on the field because
yes,
they had the resources, but they also had the nutrition to be able to get into their systems to play at a high level.
yes,
And I understand Okos is also donating around 800 pounds of yogurt product to ensure healthy snack options will be available to the students as well as the student athletes. And they're entering their third year in this program. So that's very, very crucial. And I love what they're doing so far.
yes. And one thing I want to say is I'm thankful for Oikos, but hopefully this is going to open the door and the awareness for so many other organizations and corporations to say, you know what, hey, there's some products that we can help to offer as well, to those students, so we can broaden the yes the palette, broaden what's available on those campuses. And so guess what, there's no competition here, all right.
Yeah.
There's and that's one thing that I've had to learn, unfortunately, being a farmer and being on the forefront of helping to fight food insecurity, is that, dude, like, even as much as I've worked towards this and as much as I've grown, it's still only a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
And sometimes, yes, I feel overwhelmed. I feel as though, wow, like, are my efforts like insignificant? Do they not matter? No, yes, they do. But it's a grassroots effort, and hopefully bringing that awareness. Guess what? We're going to be able to have so many other people that are going to join in, and not just offering, I know, offering, hopes and prayers, all right, but no, actually offering some resources to make a difference.
Yeah. Resources, awareness, but also some action,
Yes.
right, Jason? That's one of the main things. Um, I donated time at the Houston Food Bank here, and it's incredible just to see the amount of food that's being donated. But it's also incredible to see the faces and the cars that come up to have the need, and you just take it for granted that because you have something in the refrigerator or in your pantry, others do. So we have to be um, more understanding and sensitive and have empathy for our fellow brethren in around our communities. So that's going to be very important. Um, Lastly, I know the pantries, the student food pantries, are going to be something identified by Orcos as well to be able to help out as long as they continue this program. But also, they're providing the nutrition education, and they're having the registered dietitians to be able to help with this program as well. How important is that? Because, you being an ex athlete, you guys had to have your dietitians to be able to kind of help you and follow you along as well. How important is that?
It is important. And yes, I will say again, I had access, to all of those, awesome privileges before, but unfortunately that's not, the truth at a lot of our HBCUs. And
Right.
so, yes, so actually knowing, okay, hey, do you know your body percentage fat, like, right now? Okay. Do you know,
Do I want to know? That's a better question.
yes, so some people, they might not want to know. Okay. Do you know how many grams of protein you're supposed to be taking in every single day? And
Right.
currently, are you meeting that benchmark? And so, everyone needs a little bit of guidance and support in those areas to make sure that yes, we're feeding our bodies properly. We're operating at an optimal level, and now guess what? It's not just important for the athletes. It's important for the entire student body. Guess what? They've got to wake up early in the morning. They've got to walk across campus. They've got to think at a high level, all day long. Guess what? All of them, they need that proper nutrition, and
Yeah.
so having those um, resources that are available. I know, just not towards the athletes, but for the entire student body to make sure that guess everyone's healthy. It makes a big difference.
It does make a big difference. It does to have a plan, and it does to have corporations sponsoring this system, just like Orcos. And it's very good to really be able to be here to talk about that, because it's I know firsthand that sometimes people can't have enough check for a whole week, let alone a whole month. So just being able to have those kids understand somebody like Okros is behind them is highly, highly important. All right, Jason. Last thing before I get you off the line here, let's talk about some football, man. You
Yes.
right there in North Carolina, you got this new college coach, man. This rookie college coach coming from the NFL in Chapel Hill, your old stomping ground. Talk about that, just to have Belichick there.
So I got to say that's a big deal, but also, of course, that's a lot of pressure. Okay,
Yeah,
to step from the NFL level and be known as yes, the most
the goat.
decorated and the winningest coach in NFL history. But then you're going to step to the college level, and the expectations. Hey, I know the boosters at Carolina. All right, I know the fan base at Carolina. They want to see some wins. All right. If we're going to invest this much into coaching, if we're going to invest this much into the program, dude, like, hey, you better be in the AP top 25, least yet, hey, getting down there towards the top 12 and make it to the playoffs. Now, is he going to make it his first year, doing that at Carolina? Um, Everybody had high hopes, their first game against TCU.
Ooh,
Okay,
that was
and
a
that
rough one.
first, I got to say, that first drive, it was so beautiful. And I was like, dude, hey, if we can just have a couple more series like this, and I got to tell you what, been there, done that.
Done it.
All right, hey, it's not just having one good drive. It's consistently, like, how much can you do that over and over and over again? And their first games this year, their non-conference games, they haven't been tested yet.
Hmm.
These next couple of weeks, when they go up against Clemson, they're going to be tested. Okay, some of their other conference games, and even though I'll tell you this, Duke and NC State, right down the road from us, they may not play their best against other teams, but when they play against Carolina, they bring an extra lunch, okay, and they're ready to bring it. And hey, I know before I said talked about hopes and prayers. Guess what? I'm praying for Coach, Belichick. All right, because he's going to need it.
Yeah, look, I still think he's a year or two away from accomplishing big things. You get.
Yeah,
I think the boosters have to have some patience to be able to
yeah.
understand that. But we're talking about an impatient society right now, and these guys putting in big money, they want to
You,
see some
you got the
wins on the
portal,
field,
right?
right? Put some dubs out there.
Yeah, you got the portal. You don't have to, wait to develop a team over the course of years. Guess what? You can pay for top players right now, and so instant success. It's so crazy because there's conversations that we're having right now in the open that back in the day, 15, 20 years ago,
Found one, right?
dude, like this was taboo.
Yeah.
And I'll also say this, like, now I've heard about things, money's being transferred under the table. Guess what? The amount of money that's being handed over the
Over the
table
table.
is, dude, like, it is nothing compared to the few thousands, here or there. Dude, there's hundreds of thousands and millions being handed over the table. And it's just, I'm still having a hard time trying to like wrap my head around it. And also, I will say this: hey, guess what? If I had a time machine, all right, because I had to work a campus job. I worked campus security. I
Yeah.
was working landscaping,
Yeah.
and so I was able to sign up and get my Pell Grant. All right, and guess what? Even though yes, I had a scholarship, I was still, a struggling athlete, here and there because, you were limited from so many of those other opportunities. And even if you had a job, they told you you can only make but so much.
So
And I'm like,
much. Right. Right.
yeah, I'm like, really? Like, so you're gonna penalize me for having a great work ethic, but now, dude, it's the wild, wild west. If I had a time machine, okay, and if I could just go back, I'd be living my best life.
I hear you, Jason. I've heard that from a number of players over the past year. So yes. Before I get you off, man, Carson Vincent, the young man, the out of Alabama A&M, he's a HBCU grad, and he was selected by the Ravens to play
Mm.
offensive line, offensive tackle there. And the Ravens has had a special connection with HBCUs. When Ozzie Newsome was the general manager, he had alongside of him James Shack Harris, who's also the founder of the HBCU Legacy Bowl, as well as the Black College Football Hall of Fame. Talk about how special it is to have a young HBCU guy right there at the offensive tackle level who may be groomed to be able to protect Lamar Jackson.
That's a big deal. Every time you have an athlete of that caliber that can successfully make that transition from an HBCU to the NFL, it only gives more credibility to those programs and the coaches that say that, hey, we can properly develop these players and get them ready for the next level. And so when you have more success like that, then yes, you have more student athletes, okay, from the high school level, giving more eyes, all right, and paying more attention to HBCUs. And so, you know, his success is only going to mean more success for our HBCUs now and in the future.
What makes the Ravens organization so special?
Dude, Ozzy and what he did, he had an eye for not just talent, but overall character and your development. Thankfully, hey, he saw something in me. All right. Um, and they have a tremendous gift of picking the best player, all right, that's left on the board. And so I know that guru Mel Kiper, all right. He said, "Oh, Jason Brown, he's going to be a first day guy. I'd be highly surprised if he make it past, the second or the third round." And I went past the second and the
Wow.
third round. I slipped, to the second day, all the way to the fourth. And thankfully, Baltimore, they said, dude, like this kid, Jason Brown, he's still around. Look at what he did at Carolina. Look at his pass blocking skills. All right. Look at his run blocking skills. Hey, we need him on our team. And so thankfully, I was a little salty about it, falling so far in the draft.
Right.
But you know what? They do such a great job developing players and developing coaches. All right. If you look at how many of their coaches went on to have success and being head coaches at other teams, even look at, hey, Hugh Jackson, head coach
Right.
at Grambling State a couple of years back.
That's
They
right.
have a tremendous success of developing talent at the lower level and at the top level. And it all starts with the owner, Steve Bisciotti, that does everything first class. When I
Yeah.
went on to be with the Rams, signed a big contract with the St. Louis Rams, I got a random phone call from a 410 area code, and I was like, "Oh, I recognize this. This is a Baltimore area code." And I picked up the phone and I said, "Hey, who is this?" And he said, "Hey, Jason, this is Steve Bisciotti. All right, hey, your former boss and owner." I was like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Bisciotti," and he said, "Hey, Jason, I just want to let you know, congratulations and thank you for everything that you did to make the Baltimore Ravens a success." And dude, guess what? I still take that to heart. Like,
Yeah.
he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And he's got so much going on that he's got to do every single day. And you mean that he took the time out of his day to give me a phone call, a former player, all right? He didn't have to do that.
But
But
Jason,
that's the class right there, man. That's special.
not only class, but you were a special player. So, and you helped build that organization to a championship organization. So, I think he knew what he had in you. And I recall when you decided to step away from the NFL and make that transition to what you're doing now, to farming. Did you have some of your brethren from from the NFL kind of reach out to you to kind of understand what you're doing?
Oh yes, and even now, and even today, I'm still trying to shed a light um, on land, purchasing land as an investment, even if you're not going to use it towards agriculture or farming, because land loss amongst the Black community is a very big issue. The turn of the century, 100 years ago, there was almost 20 million acres here in America that
Mm,
was owned by Black farmers and Black families. Now it's more than cut in half. It's less than 10 million acres.
really? Wow.
And so there was a Zoom conference, symposium that was hosted last year, and they invited me back to it, this year, because I'm an ambassador. I'm an advocate for agriculture, small family farms, and also trying to share with these young men, you have awesome resources. Okay, you have millions of dollars that please do not go and spend it on ignorant materialistic
Jewelry,
things.
cars.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but guess what? You have the opportunity to go out and purchase land. Okay, thank God, we have 1,000-acre farm here in Lewisburg, North Carolina.
Wow.
So some of these young men, they have an opportunity to make a difference, not just for themselves, but generational wealth for their children and their grandchildren. And not only that, but to provide security, all right, to be able to grow and provide food, all right, the healthiest and the best, freshest of food and resources for yourself and for your family for generations to come. But here's the awesome thing, dude, like, I'm able to grow so much off of this land that I'm not only able to feed myself and my family, my 8 children, but I'm able to feed thousands of people in my community.
Wow.
And that's honestly why God called me away from football. Um, Jesus said, Jason, I've got something far greater for you in store than your entire NFL football career. And I'm like, really? I'm like,
Oh no.
Um, let me tell you what. I said, all right, with all of the resources, with all of the gifts, with all of the wealth that you've allowed me to have, what would you have me to do more so than anything else to give back and to be a blessing, to the community? And that's when God steered me towards being a farmer and agriculture. And I
Really?
tell you what, the food that we've been able to provide and support our local communities, knowing that we're giving them the best of nutrition, the best of fruits, vegetables, protein, and really helping those kids to grow up all right with that best nutrition. It means all the difference in the world for me.
And that's beautiful. Um, and I think that's why this partnership with Orcos is very important as well for the HBCU campuses at Grambling State as well as Prairie View. And I know we talked about Savannah State as well as Jackson State are a part of that. And I think it's going to continue to expand from there. Uh, Jason, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. And I was always intrigued with your story, and being able to meet you personally is very humbling for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you, Okos, for providing this opportunity.
That's right.
Also, all of our different partners, Swipe Out and Hunger, and for all of the students right now at Grambling State, as well as Prairie View, you guys should be real excited because y'all about to get some good food. God bless.
Oikos is there to help challenge and fight food insecurity. The Oikos Nutrition Sponsorship Program is there as long as you guys are able to take advantage of it. And don't forget,
That's right.
they're collaborating with Swipe Out Hunger. I'm Kyle T. Mosley of HBCU Legends. That's former NFL star, Mr. Jason Brown. Jason, thank you so much, sir.
God bless you guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.